into that. Hello everybody and welcome to our second game of the finals of the first qualification round for Ultimate Team Tournament 2. After suffering what was an incredible defeat, Gold Path 2, Nagano as Soviets, Scotch also as Soviets, are about to see if they can take their opponents back on to make it a 1-1.
And on the Easter spawn, again, we have our Axis players, Creative Name and Seeking, coming fresh off their victory over Gold Path. What is their actual team name, though? Do we know?
I don't know, actually. No.
Okay, so we'll just
not
continue
everyone's
with
got a
Gold Path.
team, yeah. So sometimes you see the name, sometimes you don't. Interestingly, Momo, you may recall a team known as White Hydra. Do you know who that team is?
White Hydra. Was that Theodosius and Thanatos?
Yep, that's absolutely right. So, I mean, like, they used to be the other 2v2 team that were, like, top dogs, right? And they got 2-0'd by Scotch and Nagano in this tournament. So, here's me thinking, like, Scotch and Nagano have taken it up another level again. But actually, we seem to just be seeing, like, tons of really, really good 2v2 teams now in the scene.
Mm-hmm. Team Bratwurst was pretty good for a short amount of time. Do you remember that too?
I do, but I couldn't remember the members, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But,
friendly neighborhood sloth and love nest.
Oh, was that what it was?
That was years ago. Yeah, we had a good time with that. But we see Creative Name here with Grand Offensive already. When I was playing Auto Match not too long ago, this looked to be super popular given how strong the Tiger and the Fusiliers are. So, if I remember right, there was a patch that nerfed it, right? So it's not as strong as I remember. However, I don't know exactly what got changed.
The Tiger or the Doctrine?
The Tiger got changed, right?
It's had a bit of change. I think it's Veteran C2. Like, it didn't have the... I think it's been given extra turret rotation and less scatter. So it's meant to be like a little less potent against infantry, because it can be really, really strong in infantry squad wipes and stuff.
Look at this. The austere sniper is a little bit of a pickle. He's utilizing his camo there to retreat, but he's going to be briefly relieved. Okay. Briefly revealed there, but tongue twister.
Well, he decides to open up fire anyway, and on the Tommy blob.
Yeah, he's got the cover now.
Good decision. I think Nagano is just trying to decap this point just to be annoying whilst he's having this fight. Conscript's trying to get the Volksgrenadiers out of the building that's just outside of their territory point, and a universal carrier for Nagano, just trying to stop the decap from the Pioneers on the munitions, but it is successful.
Yeah, a lot of manpower bleed there for Nagano. Fortunately, no squads lost, but it's not cheap to reinforce 5 units there super early. Sniper doing what it does best and inflicting manpower bleed. And a good setup to counter what the allies have. They have 3 cons and 4 sections, so Sniper's going to have a great time here. Just has to be mindful of that universal carrier and any potential light vehicle coming out later on, like the 270.
Absolutely. Well, just looking at the early game once again, I mean, last game we saw an amazing Allies opening from Seeking and Creative Name. This time they're playing as the Axis, and I think they've done a really good job here as well. They've got double munitions, which I think for Axis is very, very good. They're going to be able to get those weapons upgrades really, really early, making the Volksgrenadiers stronger, the Grenadiers like way more lethal. And look at this universal carrier, Fausted.
God.
It's going to go down straight away.
Here. And he just got the Vickers upgrade. That sucks. He needed that to harass the sniper, or at least make it a little bit more cautious when it shoots and where its positioning is. But now the sniper, okay, he's getting pushed by some sections here, but you know, the mobility just isn't there now. So huge loss there for the Allies.
Actually, I think the sniper play so far is really good. 5 kills at the moment, and it's an early sniper, like one, well, already like more than one
He's
per
almost
minute.
at 1.
Yeah,
Nagano's trying so hard to right-click on the sniper when he gets in range, but his Tommies are doing a little bit of a spinning around, and the sniper's just able to pull out at max range and messing up with his firing arc.
Our headquarters has been improved. We can now build.
Let's see, I was looking to see if Scotch put down like a tier 1, maybe go for a counter snipe, but at this point, it's gonna mess too much with his teching, so I think Nagano might be the one to go for the sniper if they try for the counter snipe, because when it's down to these high-level matches, usually players aren't gonna make big mistakes to where you're gonna catch them with regular infantry or sometimes even the light vehicles. If they're, you can catch them sleeping sometimes, but the best method of taking out snipers in these kind of games is another sniper. It's just the way it's been. So I'd be surprised if they don't go for one at some point.
Well, we're definitely on the lookout for that. I've honestly never seen Scotch and Nagano struggle so much in a 2v2 in my life. When I saw Creative Name and Seeking Guy playing earlier, like, I didn't even see them play to this level, but they've kind of taken this to a really I want to say like professional. Not that there's not professional play, but I mean like it's kind of like esports play. And here we have Nagano, who's having to retaliate with 4 squads of 5-man Tommies just to push them away.
Control group. Tactical control group on the way. Is there any MG nearby? No, I don't see one. So, oh look, a Puma being built for Creative Name. Really wants to protect against that T70 and AEC that most people assume you'll get. These Volks are in a bit of trouble. They're gonna get blocked here on retreat by the Khans, and he might lose both of them. Oh my god, look at the
Wait, there's an airstrike coming in. Smoke? Creative Name's gonna just try and protect them.
Oh, what a play. It's too much. It's too much. He's gonna lose that Volks. Well played there by the allies. That's brutal. That's just brutal. Look at that perfect block. He has one con there who just body blocked. It was one conscript, and he just picked up 2 Volks Grenadier squads with that tactical control group.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, that's how you do it.
Look at that. Now they're trying to catch up. Look at this Grenadier. He's trying to go around and not retreat through all those sections. They get wiped out like buddies. Okay, there we go. There's some guys pulling back now. He can finally pull back that squad, but huge pickup there. That's exactly what they needed to start getting back into the game. Right now, they just need to not lose anything of their own.
Sorry, man. Just I keep missing the replay timer that I want to put up.
For what, live action?
Yeah. It was working before, but I've lost my mental ability to use it correctly. So we'll try again in a while. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty. When that kind of thing happens, I think it's difficult for a lot of people to watch.
It's a legitimate strategy sometimes when you're having trouble breaking through playing your normal co and trying to engage here and there with some squads. You look for a point of weakness and you can take advantage of it. It's an effective strategy. Now the part where people get frustrated is when a player's only strategy is doing that, like the entire game they're just blobbing. That's super frustrating. But in a situation that they did the right play in my book. That sometimes you just have to do it. Like there's no way you're getting through fighting multiple engagements with a quarter of your force. Sometimes it works and it's the right play, so I wouldn't knock them for that.
Yeah, I think I sit on the same side of the fence as you, to be honest, that it's acceptable sometimes. But it's brutal and it's hard for some people to watch it. But Seeking just bringing out AT. I think he expects that allies probably have enough resources now to start bringing out some vehicles. And of course Nagano, who did go for artillery regiment, is going to be able to call out a Valentine from off-map, which will kind of cover the fact that he's had so few resources for the start of the game.
Yeah, their income is nearly half in terms of fuel and munitions, so it's over time it's gonna get bad. If Axis are the ones gaining so much resources this early on, they're just gonna accelerate into their late game. Creative just refilled his squads there, replaced those 2 Volks with 2 Fusiliers, so he's gonna set back his teching a little bit, which will give the allies a little bit of breathing room when it comes to that accelerated late game. But
Bad position.
Fusiliers are gonna eat this. Yeah.
That's good. I mean, look, the players are responsive, which is really good. So whenever this has been happening, they're actually managing to keep the squads alive. So Scotch and Nagano are doing really well here. You can tell the pressure is on. You know, they definitely don't have any sector of this map that is kind of like theirs. They're struggling to get positions set up. And we could see a late retreat on a conscript squad from Scotch here. I'm not sure if they're going to get away with that one.
G43s are good wipers on retreat, but a little bit late here on the I'll run into a mine there. Okay. Yeah, one big difference you immediately notice with the composition on the allied side is that was a creative name that went like 3 maxims, and the contrast here is we have 3 cons and 1 maxim, and that single maxim, if you guys have been looking, it's been getting flanked the entire time. It has not had a chance to just sit down, suppress, and support in the infantry engagements. It's just getting flanked by G43 Fusiliers. And once those things close in, you have to pull back. There's no soft retreating when you have no support for the Maxim. So, fortunately, one saving grace the Axis have is they haven't bled a crap ton of VPs. They actually have the Allies, I want to say. They haven't bled so much. They're only down 100 compared to the...
By the way, I've got to say, you know, after Nagano and Scotch did that play to take down the 2 Volksgrenadiers, I mean, creative name is he's just starting to get his own back, you know. He's got 4 squads of Panzer Fusiliers right now. The G43s are coming up. And really, he's just going to go, I think, for the same kind of strategy. They're also pressuring this strategic point, which is going to cut resources from the right-hand side of the map, leaving only 2 strategic points and munitions for Nagano and Scotch. So I can't emphasize how serious the situation is in this game right now for Gold Path 2.
Oh, great Zis barrage there on the MG42, knocks it out. He's going for the Ura to pick it up. The Zis barrage nearly just killed the crew itself. I'd be really surprised if Scotch gets away with this. Nah, he's not going to get that.
He does remove the Maxim.
Blew it up, yep. Blew up the MG42 completely, so they denied it at the very least. Valentine here trying to push back this engagement. But yeah, to your point, just solid play. The Fusiliers specifically are very, let's say, competitively priced. And thanks to that OKW veterancy and how quickly you can get it with G43s, those things are a monster unit if you can't deal with them early on and get them out of the game. Once they get Vet 5, they have that sprint, they got flares. Big blob push here coming again from Nagano with his sections. Trying to push back this Puma with the Valentine AEC combo. They are not pushing up even though the packs have been pulled back.
This is actually so key and a really good move from Nagano because they can push and hopefully Nagano can sit there for a little while outside of the base. It will allow allies to just recapture their side of the map. There's still about 300 VPs, but they've lost quite a lot in the start of the game thus far. And Valentine there just pressuring the Puma, doesn't want to get too close because of the anti-tank grenades from Panzer Fusiliers. But they've regained some map control here, and I think that's really good of them.
Exactly what they need, yeah. Just in time now to get some map control before the Panzer IV just pushes them right back. See, they've spotted it here. AEC and Valentine are available to suppress that threat. You know, just need to be careful of those Grens. See if he can get his tread shot in. Okay, he's pulling back. Faust is coming out on the AEC. Poking at those sappers, doesn't want them repairing so easily. Good choice. Pack 40 pushing up, Puma pushing up. Puma already got repaired after taking that one, so it's ready to support. This gun is really damaged. Needs to be careful there with how many Fusiliers and Grens are pushing up. Sniper is also pushing up. This might be the death blow push here from the Axis.
Yeah, it's I mean, Creative Name and Seeking Guy have got this map nailed down, and it's kind of an insult to injury because Scotch is the person responsible for bringing this map to the tournament, and
yeah, right.
he's getting outplayed on the map quite hard. They're really, really struggling here. This gun, very low health, is probably not going to survive this. And it really is essential, like you said, just for dealing with the Panzer IV, which has just got free reign to just run over enemy units.
Oh my god. Can't blob against the Panzer IV with sections. And he can just go to the base here if he really wanted to, which is what he's doing. Just a little bit of a rotation. Oh, he wipes that section out. The shell went right through his mouth. Wipe that guy out. That was brutal. This gun is pushing up a little bit too much here.
Oh, this is Valiant from the Valentine, trying to get on the rear armor. It's got a AT gun to avoid, and can it pop smoke shells whilst it tries to deal with this? It's not bad. The AEC is coming in to help as well.
40 here.
There needs to be smoke. There just isn't the smoke there. Valentine goes down. One more shot from the AEC though. Come on.
This is it right here. Can it get it? Oh, actually, just a pixel. The Pak-40 misses point blank. It missed point blank.
But also, the Faust didn't get the AEC then. It took a second Faust from the Grenadiers in order to get that. And now a Pak-40 can be crewed by some sappers. And this unit is going to be kind of pivotal in pushing the Axis armor back. I would have said that was going to be the game-ending push. But actually, Nagano and Scotch seem to have recovered from it.
If they got the Panzer IV there, with the pack they just picked up, they would be just right back in it, like nearly even. Because the Zis was not destroyed, it just got decrewed. So they just got gifted an AT gun. They have 280 VPs to work with. Sniper is a little bit out of position here. He's getting pushed, although Fusiliers are coming to help. But yeah, that pack crew was like must have been a late war crew, because they literally missed like 2 meters in front of them. That sucks.
So look at the,
they still got the kill in the end, but it cost them 50 munitions to double Faust it. Creative Name finally got his tier 4 up. Now he's gonna be able to get the Tiger once he has the CPs. He's got the income for it. Puma starting to take Pak-40. And here's a G43 just bullying everything.
Blob on
they
the
just
left.
walk up and bully everything. It's insane. They're not even in cover. They're just beating everything. I mean, to be fair, they're combat engineers, but good old flamethrower crits
Tommy's
there.
squad is so lucky to get out of that, given that it was 2 models. So Nagano there being forced to call in another Valentine. Who knows what the build would have been if he'd had resources, but for the moment he's just got to rely on the Valentine to put pressure on these infantry squads. He's also not been able to get any upgrades on his infantry sections. That's something that he would normally plan to do. But Scotch trying to work in unison with Nagano here to push the map back up. And Scotch is trying to take the right-hand side relatively on his own. I mean, Nagano hasn't been over there really at all. And Scotch is just trying to get conscripts and maxims over to the right all the time, but just getting flanked and pushed away.
Yeah, he's really playing to that armored assault style, where you just hold on for dear life with your AT guns, your cons and your maxim until you get that big daddy stalling out. Like, that's usually the strat when it comes down to something like this. It's just, please survive, hold on to that fuel, give us enough VP so IS-2 can do some damage. But based on the timing and the way I'm looking at it, they're gonna have the Tiger out, and you know,
not if he builds a
Panzer. Yeah, I was gonna say he could get a Panther, but he's going for the Werfer, which is obviously a great choice when there's 3 AT guns to deal with. But it's all gonna come down to their resource management here if they want to get the IS-2 out in time, because if you start bleeding towards the end and you're just struggling to reinforce your squads, and oh my god, look at these Zis guns just getting annihilated. That's one down. So that's what I'm talking about, the resource management this term, manpower. You know, you're always trying to bank up for your heavy call-in, but at the same time, you gotta reinforce your guys to actually hold territory. So, yeah, it's not looking good.
I think this Panzerwerfer move is actually quite good because, again, you know, you've got the AT guns are always kind of doubled up, probably in like one command group, and they're normally in like some kind of fixed position. Double fuel for the Axis now, so they will be able to start that climb back up to the Tiger. And Scotch here trying to be really brutal. He's going for a cutoff point, which I don't actually think denies fuel on that side, but it at least denies double fuel.
Fragmentation bomb coming on the packs. Oh, almost wipes out his own Grens, but does clear out the pack.
Was that masterful or lucky?
Calculated.
Oh man.
Looks like engineers going down. Fortunately, they can't recrew the pack there. Maybe he'll go for blowing it up instead. Tiger's about to hit the field. Just another 40 manpower, and that's another huge threat that they have to deal with. Almost got to blow up the pack, but fortunately got the crew in before it exploded. Oh man, Nagano just at 32 pop cap right now. It's gonna be on Scotch for the next few minutes to hold this game together. And he actually went for an 85 instead. He figured he wouldn't be able to get the IS-2 in time. How much VPs and pressure is being put on them. Werfer blows up the pack completely. Forces that Tommy back. Axis are playing super well.
Yep, Tiger's about to make its first show, and it's huge. 4 models dropped on a retreating conscript, and it may get the last kill. The Coaxial MG there is just, I think, trying to pin the model down.
Going for the wipe here. Okay, no longer spotted there. That's away. 85 gets a little poke in. This gun has been struggling to shoot for the last 30 seconds here. Still has not fired. I don't know if it's the tree there or what.
With a dive into the base, by the way, by Panzer IV, which is just trying to poke him to get the Valentine. And Nagano is actually just struggling to get units out of his base under this. With the Tiger on the right, I mean, I don't think they have any option now than to start pulling all their forces back to the base territories and fight from there. And this is a really, really tough thing to do. That if they lose this game, like they've lost. You know what I mean? This is a best of 3. So I mean, they can't. Oh, they are going to give it. I was just about to say they can't really give up, but there you go. It's a 2-0 series in the finals, and I'm so surprised, but so happy to say Creative Name and Seeking are the top seed out of qualifier round 1. That is amazing. GG.
Wow.